So obviously today is the big vote. I don't know. I might do a video about it later. It is Saturday. I'm doing my usual block of videos on, so I might do one. I might even put a video out on Saturday. I don't know. But this is something that we need to talk about more, because one of the things that Brexiteers have constantly said is that workers' rights and all this is perfectly fine, and that when we're out of the EU, nothing about them is going to change. Yet, as we've talked about before, especially with Britannia Unchained and the fact that all the people who wrote those books, who wrote that book, are in office in a position of power to affect those changes, then workers' rights, consumer protections, environmental protections, social protections are going to go. And all that hard work that we did to fight for those protections in the first place goes. And there's no European Union to help us guarantee those. That's if we leave. But this is what Johnson and his chums are trying to do. And yet people are championing this guy from working class backgrounds who, if they enact these things, are going to lose out tremendously. But there you go. So, Boris Johnson's Brexit dream is to shred workers' rights and social protections. Less than a year ago, Boris Johnson told the Democratic Unionist Party that no British government could or should put a customs border in the Irish Sea. He appointed himself Minister for the Union upon assuming the premiership. The Tory hardcore Brexiteers solemnly pledged not to abandon their Unionist brethren. But look how carelessly their erstwhile allies were that tossed overboard. The truth is, they never really cared. What they really wanted, and what Boris Johnson's hard Brexit deal gives them, is this chance to shred workers' rights and social protections. This is no conspiracy theory. It is the express intention of the Tory politicians championing it. Several years ago, a group of Tory MPs published a book entitled Britannia Unchained that argued that Britain rewards laziness, that British workers were, quote, the worst idlers in the world, and that too many people in Britain prefer to lie in to work hard. Businesses were deterred from hiring people, they claimed, because employment laws made them fear of taking a risk and hiring new staff. The solution? Repealing those laws, or what should more be accurately described as rights. 3 of the book's authors are now in the cabinet: Priti Patel, Dominic Raab and Liz Truss. Oh dear. Or consider the defeated Tory leadership candidate Jeremy Hunt, who once championed slashing tax credits for low-paid workers, on the ground that it would make them work hard as Chinese people, or indeed Johnson himself, who declared that the weight of employment regulation is now backbreaking, singling out the Collective Redundancies Directive and the Atypical Workers Directive, the Working Time Directive, and 1,000 more. Some of them championed leave, others campaigned for remain, but they are zealously united behind the new Brexit deal. And no wonder. The prize for the Thatcherite ideologies is the abandonment of a level playing field in workers' rights and social and environmental protections. For that, for them, is what the true Brexit is really about. And if it means the Conservative and Unionist Party abandoning the sanctity of the Union with Northern Ireland and risking Scottish independence, then so be it. Sure, there were some Tories who felt that Brexit was too disruptive, a distraction, more a hassle than it was worth, or who regarded the right-wing populism stirred up by their colleagues as rather too vulgar. But if it can allow a race to the bottom in the rights that the Tories regard as burdensome red tape, reducing the profits of businesses who bankroll the party, well then so be it. Those Labour MPs considering voting for the deal should bear all this in mind. If they approve this project of unrestrained disaster capitalism, they will betray every value that their party has championed for years, and be remembered for nothing else. If the deal passes, and it could very well do so, then Johnson's chances of trumpeting in the coming election will be sharply increased. The new Tory party intake will be significantly to the right of the current one, with a sizable majority, it could negotiate a future relationship based on undercutting rights enshrined across the EU. In those years of turmoil, certain rebel Tory MPs have been celebrated as allies of the Remain cause. They will now dutifully shuffle through their government lobbies. Where were their principles, you may cry. The Tories in England have long imagined that they were enthusiastic about monarchy, the church, and the beauties of old English constitution, until the day the danger rang from the confession that they were only enthusiastic about the ground rent. Those were the words written by Karl Marx in 1852. As the first stage of the Brexit saga reaches its denouncement, it could hardly be more apt. And that's completely true. We've talked about Britannia Unchained on this channel many times, even before the whole Brexit debate started. But there you go. Yeah. Remember, guys, this is apparently what you voted for. So I hope you enjoy losing your workers' rights, because when you do, you'll be told by these people who champion Brexit that this is what you wanted, this is what you were voting for. When a company takes over a new company, they should just be able to fire all the old staff at will, because apparently all these new workers are too burdensome for the current company, so they just have to fire them all. That's one of the rights that we will lose. No one seems to care, but there you go, guys. That's apparently what you want. I don't think it's what the vast majority of British people actually want, which, once again, is why I keep on telling you, you are very, very deluded. And as anything that these past couple of years have, at least espoused upon, is that a lot of people really don't know what rights they are about to lose. And it's going to be funny when we lose those rights and they're like, wait, hang on, why have we lost these rights? What happened?